How are you guys doing? Kids, after a long time, I brought you those apocalypses. Route that we like. It's very difficult to find an apocalypse that I haven't brought yet, right? Because it's one of my favorite genres. But after hunting, I read a few chapters. I said, okay, this one. I'm respecting this Pertinia. So enough rambling, let's give it to him. It's rainy. Zombies everywhere. Blood falls on the ground, and the sucker is hurt, dude. Obviously, he was betrayed by his friends, who I have no idea who they are. Because in front of him, there's only a spider creature, and another one there with his head all destroyed. Attacking. The Prota says that dying at the hands of your own comrades is a disgrace. He really wasn't born for this apocalyptic world. The name of the Lamalangada this time is NgocMy. He has wondered countless times about what would happen in an apocalypse. It was when 10 years ago, the world changed, and 90% of people were infected. From the skies, strange wheels descended, and gradually, people discovered a crystal on the monsters' heads. These crystals could be used to spin such wheels and obtain invaluable items that were essential to survive the apocalypse, like weapons, medicines, and food. And of course, because of that, the dispute in the apocalypse began to be for such wheels, and also for such crystals. Groups formed, and our boy joined one of them, and decided to abandon his human side. After 10 years of hard work, he finally managed to put himself in a special group. He thought that now life would be gentle and peaceful, but in the end, was abandoned and betrayed by his team. That's how it all ended for the sucker. But it's been a minute since it started, right? So it's obvious that we're resurrecting. Next to him is a girl called Shorty, and the kid is scared because last night's meal should have died a long time ago. Looking around, he knows this is his house, which is weird, since this place had also been destroyed. He sees that on Alexa, over there in the corner, dude. 2220 September 10th. He had gone back in time. But even so, it's 200 years ahead of us. Man, ChatGPT has already taken over everything. It was Lomas who made the car that goes back. And how's it going? Tell me. Hey, Chiprot. Aren't you happy he's back? No, son. No, is angry that he will have to go through everything. That again. But suddenly, he remembers that it's not exactly the same thing. To have been born, he has the chance to change everything he did in this life. And obviously, knows the most important things about the apocalypse, and one of them is having experience. Damn, the boy is just getting up and putting on his clothes. I thought he was going to take advantage of that. The apocalypse hasn't started, has it? To have fun for a second. But no, man, let's participate right away. Even the girl wants to know where you're going to use the Ming. You cuckold. The silver one. But he's completely ignoring. In a drawer there is a credit card with a lot of money. That's because his parents died, right? Obviously, he's an orphan there. He was a sucker in his past life. And he didn't spend that money, right? The apocalypse started, and he kept all that in his account. But now he's going to do it differently. The girl is talking. Hey, Zoming. You cuckold, look at me. The silver one. But throws a backpack on the floor. For her. And says that he already knows that she and Kim Jun are together. What she's doing at this moment is just because she feels sorry for him. Oh, crazy. But the girl is a saint. It's so much pity that she sat on the boy. She seems a little confused and tries to deny it, saying that she has no idea what he's talking about. In the past, the Pertinia, when everything started, sold everything and did everything to protect the little one. But in the end, she decided to leave him and choose a guy named Kim Jun. She sent the yes on Ming Veeks. Spoke the full name. Speaks clearly. What right does he have to humiliate her? It even looks like she's with this other guy. He's just jealous because that guy is beautiful. And very strong. Oh man. Oh crazy. He even said he's just a clown. Ida Pertinia. You who is sharing the meal. So I thought it was the guy who was being kind. But he warns her that because of the relationship they had, he will give a final warning. She better be careful. He remembers that past life. She was exchanged for 3 cans of food, man. But he doesn't care about her anymore. And leaves the fool screaming there, saying that she will give him the boot first. She's giving him the boot. He ignores, and we're already on the street paying for the taxi. That's because he wants to go to the nearest hospital. The objective is to gather medicine, food, and equipment We've arrived, and he's rummaging through the bag with a lot of needles, injection, medicine, everything that's there. Ox son. I thought he had bought it at the pharmacy. But the boy is a thug daughter. The girl caught him, they're red-handed, stealing everything. He had to run out in a hurry. At least he said he put money at the entrance. Clearly not a good Samaritan, huh? Because the hospital is going to run out of medicine. When the apocalypse starts in this. He went to an outdoor equipment store, right? Bought some boots there. Some more existing clothes, and also a machete there. 88. 88. A share that he has experience in life to pass. And it will be perfect. An old man. But from Chara thinking that. The sucker paid 10 times the price. Really was an idiot. The taxi driver is going 1,000 miles an hour, and our prosthesis already tells him to arrive at a mansion, a certain King Day, saying that he will give $300. Plus the guy is cutting off traffic, almost running over, while our little guy knows that the only thing left now is to prepare for the wheels. Basically, these were the exchange posts, and the source of resources for all water survivors, food equipment, even special abilities, can be obtained by spinning these routes. And he had to be the first to abuse this. Already in front of the entrance of the mansion a guy appears, says no taxis can enter there. But the bro is crazy in the head. Tell the guy to accelerate, and warns that he will be responsible for everything. I don't know who is crazier, him or the taxi driver's son, because the human just obeys and goes breaking everything. Apparently, they went there to a more empty part. The little Pertinho told the taxi driver, "Be careful, it's crazy. We'll start in the world," and got out of the car. Obviously the guards of the building already came wanting to know what this crazy kid is doing. The silver one is there saying, "Hey, I don't know anything, what's up?" But the guy tells him to stop acting like an idiot. The little duckling, however, tells him to take a look, because it seems that things are starting. Suddenly a black smoke with the thunders. Pillar rises. That moment, the famous apocalypse was coming. Just like it happened 10 years ago. What he doesn't understand is who put these wheels in the world, and why these things came out of nowhere. At least if everything follows the same logic, he has the opportunity to become much stronger. Man, I thought it was roulette, but it's actually a fucking ship flying over everything. I said that ChatGPT had already dominated 10 years ago. In the future, man, the guards, they all think it's, I don't know, a special effects movie. They're all filming, while our boy is starting the rush, knowing that this such golden spaceship will start its attack. Attack that would last for 5 minutes. And from then on the world will forever become hell. He rings the doorbell of a mansion nearby and warns that it's from Rich Delivery. They are all suckers and unaware. Son, do you think they don't open like that, son? There's the little silver one already entered. Calmly. Someone said that he is not a delivery man, and boy, here comes the first little angry one of the time. But this one looks like that will give more work than this, cool. And warn him that he better disappear from her house now. Otherwise she will call the police. The men. But already noticed that this woman has no combat skills. The kid is already wanting to put his hand on her head when she's going to tell him to leave again. Suddenly there's an explosion outside. The ship was throwing a lot of capsules. Looked like giant pills that when falling on the car destroyed everything. From inside, it came a strange green venom. At the time human transforms, the proton only suffered to see all that. Thread the people outside biting, screaming, asking for help, while the girl next door wants to know what's going on and says that if he doesn't disappear now, she's going to call the police. He, however, completely ignores everything she says, sees the kitchen and runs towards O. Arrives there, boy. Look who's there. The first wheel of the apocalypse. The woman wants to know what that is. And he just says it's the exchange wheel. Appeared as expected. In the middle you could see that it had a gray crystal. That is, it was of the lowest level possible. The woman understands that the boy came in to see this, but wants to know why it appeared in her house. While he is impressed that it's one of the parts of the wheel, you could see that it had a Genesis medicine. It was one of the most valuable items, because it increased the person's physical strength. In some cases. In this one, he sees a marking there. That shows that with 5 crystals, you can get that item directly in the middle. That's skipping the luck. He's spinning there saying, wanting to find the most valuable thing. Seeing a lot of potion items. Weapon, a desert eagle. There's a medicine. It has everything. Besides that, there's a little clown card. And the woman there is already getting curious, right? Wants to know what the clown does. He explains that she won't understand. But that increases special abilities. And I decide to explain why. Since this woman hasn't turned into a zombie yet, maybe she has some resistance to the poison. For being so close. He tries to explain that she can become very strong. You can get some kind of pet. But she doesn't believe anything. Just tells him to stop being crazy. The boy is talking like he's in a game. Now in this, he tells her to shut up. And tells her to pay attention. That the shouting outside had stopped. She realizes it's true. Runs to see what was happening. The little duck just thinks that if she goes out there, will die instantly. But the moment she gets to the door, the first zombie already gives him a stare. Wow, not only that. Apparently, she opened the door like an idiot, went to throw it on the floor. And the creature is already almost wanting to take a bite. But the tough girl managed to hold him by the jaw. She's actually smart. It's just that the zombie isn't that stupid either. And gives her a slap in the face. But in that a green glow passes by, dude. Pertinia made the first kill. The monster even smeared the girl's face. But he just ignores it. Goes to the forehead and pulls the crystal. The woman is looking there seeming kind of interested. When suddenly, 2 more zombies entered through the front door. She's kind of scared. Takes a step back. But a Pertinia with a big butt and the guy has glutes. Comes to the front. The creatures come to take a bite. But it's all low level. So it's just a stare. A pass of the machete, and the 2 are on the ground again. The blade drips. And she wants to know how he knows how to fight like that. She also wants to know who he is. Why he's there. He just says his name is Yesaming. Asks her name. And she says her name is Mushin Fei. Wow man. Given the fit the boy had, that one must be very dangerous in the future. And remembers a girl up there. Of a pile of corpses. I don't know if it's a zombie or if it's her herself, but it looks like she became a 9-star warrior. She's all fluffy for now. Scared. Wanting to know what that is. The boy gives the summary. Just says, the earth was invaded. There will be a lot of zombies. And now the whoring has begun. She wants to know why. But when he just says he doesn't know either. The thing is to collect these little crystals like this. Now the focus was survive. She replies that it doesn't make sense. It was better to wait for the military to come save us. But the men just explains that the military group must also have collapsed in a few minutes. The only thing left outside was a world of zombies. Seeing how scared she gets with all the information, the zombie doesn't understand why this woman managed to become a 9-star warrior. She must have something special. And besides, it's always good to have some help with this. He tells you to come along. That he will explain everything about how to survive in this zombie world. Obviously, the most important things were resources and equipment, especially those that come from these wheels. If you spin the normal wheel, you get an item. But if you want a specific one, you can fill in these little pieces there, right? To get the right one. She said the format. It looked like that thing he was ripping off the zombie's head. And at the time he puts 3 and says that's exactly how it works. She asks what he said that time. About the wheel thing. Costs 7 crystals. And he explains that the greater the reward, the more crystals you need to spend at the time. She understands then, right? That means there are other wheels out there. With rewards. Better. He said that's right, girl. You're a pretty smart one. This one here is level 1 Soma. She then asked. Obvious, right? Oh, you wretch. How do you already know all this? He's kind of. How about you there? Spin the little wheel, huh, my girl? Do that, it's better. He warns that he's going to hunt a zombie. And she better take care of this and not open the door. But no matter what happens. Poor thing. However, she's in shock that he is purposefully going outside to hunt monsters. But poor zombies. They think life will be easy. When suddenly the madman arrives. With 10 years of experience. Ripping off the head of the first one. For more are standing there. Coming in the direction. But he just passes to the back of the other one. Finishes another one. What is this? Passing by and leaving the blade. Kick in the head. Comes with the jump. Kills another one on the ground. Boy of the sky. Then just do that collection by pulling it from the forehead. Only in that he hears someone asking for help. And looking back. The girl all twisted turning the rush. Gosh, this one is crazy in the head, huh? Clearly the peculiar. Because she already threw herself on his back. Like die there for me, fool. But the man is a fool indeed. I agree with her. And the Pertinya goes on the defense, Killing first, wow. But the moment he kills the second, the girl transforms on his back and comes to give him a bite. But the boy has eyes in his butt. Boy manages to turn around and giving that hit in the middle of her attack. Ah, poor thing. Torn shot on the ground. And with that he has already obtained 11 crystals. Going back home like that done there, Clapping. That's what it's for here. The Pertinya goes to the wheel and will put his little finger. And boy, when you spend everything, the stones disappear and the roulette starts to roulette. The girl is already addicted to gacha. In her first round, the dopamine has already gone to the moon. The Pertinya wanted some kind of medicine, but ends up falling into some jars of food. He is obviously disappointed, and she shows that maybe it's not so bad. Look how much food they also have. They will gather and have even more. But he just thinks it was really a waste, and tells her to try. The next time he's unlucky. No one denies the pain for the gambling girl, right? Look how she's shaking to put the little crystal in. And when the protagonist is eager to know what, that a person who reached rank 9 will win. He's just behind her looking at the wheel, right? The wheel that spins that one right there. The protagonist knows that in the beginning of everything, the first rounds are the most important. Because you kind of get stronger than everyone else there. Get more crystal and create a snowball. Suddenly she asks what that does. But the protagonist already seems scared, man. What she received was an elimination card. She asks if that's good. He said yes. This is an item that prevents you from picking up certain items from the roulette. So right, kind of indirectly, increases the chance of receiving the others. He explains here. At the beginning, it's not very good. But later on it ends up being essential to get strong rewards really fast. He asks if she's always been lucky. Because it's rare to get this card. And one wheel of one cost. She says that whenever she buys things in a box, gets extra stuff. When she goes to the market, the products are also always on sale. And besides that, she participated in a raffle and won a cow. The little dish realizes that the wretch was lucky. But it's okay. Since she had a lucky body, he will now make use of everything. We're already in the other day, early in the morning. He's already going out to collect crystal. And she's confused, saying she's too horny. But he replies that the objective today is 100 crystals. And the little rascal is already getting all excited, right? Speaking. Wow, I can depend on this man. He is so manly and strong. Why was I moaning like that? I do not know. But she's celebrating. The writer of the story is not afraid of being cancelled. No daughter. And put her in the kitchen. Saying that she is finally in the woman's territory. She would do a food that was worth the same value as 100 crystals. Then she's cancelled and goes on social media. Excuse me. Boy, oh boy. The summary of the opera. The little protagonist is back. Even she is scared. Saying it was fast. And the boy thinks he's in a relationship. Already arrives saying that there is good and bad news. Which one does she want? She's a bit crooked there and says she wants the good one first. He then says that the good thing is that this place, there are almost no zombies left. Because he already killed most of them. She wants to know what the bad news is. So he shows that unfortunately, he only got this much crystal. The big-headed one seems excited, saying it's enough to throw a Zolatada. But he explains that he entered all the houses in the whole region and only got that. At the time, warns that he's hungry. Bro, I wonder if she prepared something. My God, that's her 100 crystal food. The thing is even green. Bro, but obviously the prota eats it, right dude? The boy is used to eating food from the ground. From the apocalypse. He says the taste isn't even that horrible. You can eat it. It's not as terrible as he imagined it would be. The filthy trash. She's kind of surprised that he liked that. Right, girl? But with that we're already at the roulette. The little dish is eager to see what good kid she'll get this time. Damn, bro. Desert Eagle. Ammunition. A crossbow arrow. She tells him to try. But he says no, right? Let her use the crystals. While he gets the rewards there. But she's trying to seduce the boy. Grabs his little hand and blows on it. Saying she passed the luck to him. This boy doesn't blush. He has a face that he thinks this girl has a mental challenge. That's right. Opalai. Next chapter. He's really all red. Good part that as the items leave the wheel, it will be easier to catch some. She will ask if should use the card to remove the box of biscuit. When suddenly, just by touching the card it falls apart, she apologizes, saying she didn't know that was how to activate it. He said it's okay. At least now. It was a 1 in 5 chance of receiving the medicine. The two plead. And finally the item falls on what he wanted so much. A body-strengthening medicine. That made the physique stronger. She's all silly there. Asking right. If he will get stronger by consuming this. And he said yes. But don't rush that he will show something in it. He starts mixing in a certain Epirim, which apparently is a medicine he got at the hospital, together with what came out of the potion. She asks if he's turning 1 into 2, and he said it's something similar to that. Each will has different rewards, and there are different ways to take advantage of each of them. The plan was to exchange what was left of this bottle for some valuable item from another person. Oh, crazy. He's a scammer. This starts to bubble. And at the time, he says he has to lower the temperature and tells her to pay attention and learn everything. That it is she who will have to do this from now on. She's still wondering, isn't she? How does he know all this? But he tells her to be quiet, that he's hearing something strange. Suddenly, he runs out pulling her, and she's kind of confused. He just explains that there is something much worse than zombies arriving. The woman has no idea what could be worse than a zombie, until you look at the door and see some gigantic mutated insects. The animals did not have a high combat capacity, but the problem is the usual one with insects, right? They moved in huge groups. Wow, but imagine some big cockroaches like that entering the house. My God, that's really terrifying. So they're already going there. Pulls the closet, cover the door, and he says that all mutated organisms will always attack humans. So it's good for her to be smart. The animals start banging on the door. She throws herself in our boy and lad. I didn't know her squat was up to date. And that Pertinia speaks to the fool. Get away. Idiot that I have to take care of this here alone. She's like, wow. I love being scolded. He already pushes. Go away from here, no? Pum closed the door. Now let's drink this thing here. And kill the animals that are coming. However much he hated the side effect it causes. On the outside. But it's crowded. The cheap ones, the bug, are breaking down the door. In that he finally gives the big goal. Starts to feel something weird in his pupil. Falls to his knees. When the first insect is already coming from above, with this thing in his mouth. Disgusting. I don't know what that is. Boy oh boy. And it looks like the attack hit home. But when the other bugs come in to see their friend, Fizz already has the blade tearing through the first one's abdomen, the head going far away. The dish. At the same time as he throws the first one, already jumps towards the others. Wow, damn. He's all with little red eyes forming an aura. The monsters already erect a barrier in their backs, but even so, now he's slicing everything up. It's raining insects on the floor. Wow, worse than those insects that stink, huh? My God, that room must be a horror. Not to mention that insects reproduce quickly. He has to kill the queen, otherwise they'll keep coming. Right at that moment, he feels a presence on his back. Apparently, it's the damned queen who had arrived. And at that moment, he advances towards her. The bitch tries to send a poisonous spit at his foot, but he manages to jump, but sees that the thing ran all over the wall. There was even a cool necklace there that fell on the floor, and he asks if the wretch came to avenge her children. A monster advances, and he jumps, remembering exactly the weak point of this bug, hitting a flood in the back and spinning the entire blade. Boy of heaven, even made a helicopter there. The poor thing suffered before dying. Keep it. Falls with his belly on the ground. The Pertinia. But even though he survived, now it's all sore. That's because making use of this medicine ends with his body. But nothing better than win the fight and get a hug from the gang. Let go, right, boy. But he notices that she was all on the time league and tells her to stop crying. The apocalypse has only just begun, fool. She explains that she's crying because this place smells too bad. That's right. Also a lot of insects. Giant stinky ones, you're crazy. But, want to know what they're going to do with this pile of corpse? He replies that those were wonderful things. She asks what he means. And my God. He explains that when food becomes rare, the only food sources were the wheel. Canned foods and one species of juice made with part of these insects. She said it's disgusting to eat bugs. But he says it's better to eat bugs than eat humans. Wow, but you're taking apocalypse. Is serious, huh? They are already going to cook the bugs. I hope that's for training. Because for the love of God, you have the refrigerators. Every guy let's eat. Eat a lot of lettuce. Something that will spoil. Leave the bugs for later. While the poor thing was left with the smelly job. Now our boy as always will go out to hunt. But warn him that now he will have to go further. That is, it will take longer. However, I hope he can also come back with more crystals. She says she can count on her. That she will continue training there. For the business of making medicines and cooking. These bug. And Donario is all bored. Telling her not to worry that he will be back. And with that he left for another hunt. While the sucker is floating in the middle of nowhere. We are in the streets. There are dead zombies here and there. While the little guy is walking around there. Until he hears someone screaming for help. Now he wants to know who is the idiot of attracting all the zombies in the region. When turning the corner. Oh boy, look at the design, right? What are the chances of being a new good friend? And she's there asking for help. She looks kind of suspicious, huh? He already tells the bastard to shut his damn mouth. Everyone will die because of you. Obviously. At the same time, there is already a mountain of zombies coming from behind. The first one approaches. We'll pull her jacket. But the proto pulls out the machete and tears his head off. He tells the wretch to run that way. That he will deal with it. And with that she leaves around the corner. Finds a little shop in the back. Opens the door and stands in front of a room inside, crying desperately. She looks and sees our guy blasting everything and calls for him. Hey Caracafio. The boy was putting the zombies' heads. To fly even boy. But he leaves in a hurry. We'll pass through the door. The animals manage to close it. The two notice this. Have to run up the stairs, boy of heaven. Business is not easy now. The little silver doesn't care. Left the woman behind. But boy too hot to abandon. Obviously. He grabs her by the arm. Already pulls on a waist. While killing zombies down there. Wow, what a useless man. The boy risks everything just not to lose a skirt. But suddenly, the entire staircase becomes somewhat illuminated, with a light source directly on the two. What looked like a meteor crossed the skies. And the proto knows that that was the key to a dungeon in the apocalypse. This will be one of the rarest items in the world. The only way to enter the mysterious lands that are full of items and full of hope. Even 10 years in the future, most of the high-ranking guys dreamed of having one of those. And in this life, he swears that this business will be his. But the girl told him to wake up to life. Right boy was about to be bitten. The pro, however, gives him a punch in the face of the first, passes the machete to the other, and says he almost lost his balls in this. He goes up the stairs a little more, and finally has an easy way to deal with the animals. One more advance. He cuts another arm there. The girl is in shock. Wire, and out of nowhere. She even starts having memories from a short time ago, when it was constantly surrounded by men who loved. She was followed by everyone. She had money. She had knowledge. She had wisdom. You could say she was chosen. The film of the spoiled by God. But everything changed, and suddenly she lost everything, with her parents becoming zombies. She's there lying on the floor, giving up on everything. It was one who was going to die there. The proto. But tells her to wake up to life. Wire keep going up. While passing zombie to Karai. The girl already comes down the stairs decorated with bodies. Wants to know how he's killing so many like that. Alone. The zombie, however, speaks. For the wretch. Stop sitting there and do something. Because he has to get out of there soon. To go in search of the Tal dungeon key. Only that is in it, right? That comes more one. Oh my god. This man is so strong. I can depend on him. The Pertinia. Just let them know they're going up to the roof now. And that's where they'll find the exit. But suddenly they both feel a strange sensation. And in front of them were several vines. Oh poor thing, right man? Mentally challenged. Dying to be arrested by tentacle. No. Artists don't go that way. No, artists don't be corrupted. You stop that. Few the Pratinias save guys. Cut everything. And allowed the work to stay. Available to all ages. Oh crazy. The darn thing is just low blow, okay. Oh, now that she's seen that he's strong. She's already thinking there. That she's going to do everything to make him fall for her charm proto. But there is the sixth sense of naughtiness. And just dropped her on the ground like a rock. She's kind of confused. While he said he has to cut these cloth, it's here soon to move forward. He already turns around, tells her to stop wasting time. But when trying to open the door, it seemed to be stuck on the inside. She wants to know what they're going to do. He says it's easy, son. Look, one kick. But inside they find 3 dude. They're one whole family. Some children. I thought it was inside. But actually right. They arrived outside. Up there on the building. People want to know what the 2 of them are doing there. They say that obviously downstairs wasn't safe. They went up, bro. But he's angry, and with good reason, right? You damn bastards, you broke the door. Now everyone is going to die. The proto, however, he replies that he has already killed all the zombies on the way, and there are none left. So they're fine. But L'Oreal tells him to shut up, and just tell the guys to put the door back in place. Otherwise they're all going to die. That's right. He already puts the club on Proto's chest, and says that if the zombie comes up, he'll be the first to jump. But the human, who looks more like a villain with that mohawk, Red, says the boy didn't know anything. Hey, calm down, buddy. The poor e-girl is all embarrassed, while our guy takes a look to the side and wants to know, right, why there are so many people there, all scared in the corner. Loro explains that it's the people who were downstairs, who also fled the zombies, then apologizes to our guy, says it was a misunderstanding, and wants to know what they're trying to do. If these guys are being too nice, suspicious. And Patinho says he wants to go to the ninja school, probably, where the dungeon key is. The blonde explains that it's crazy to go to that region. It's full of zombies in the streets. But the Zong tells the truth, right? He saw a strange light falling in that region, and he wants to go there to see what's going on. The blonde said he is brave, while the Patinho just wants to know if he saw an easier way. Some shortcut. The survivor warns about a platform between the 2 buildings that he can jump, but it's very dangerous. Who falls on this guy will certainly become paraplegic. The Pertinia is anxious and says he will jump, but the e-girl clings, saying that she should go with him. Don't abandon him like that. He said it's okay, but she will have to carry the backpack. The blonde says he's crazy. He really thinks he can get across. With this woman, must be wanting to die both. They should leave the backpack with him. After they jump, he throws it to him over there. Clearly no one will believe that. The Prota, at the time, tells her to wake up and put this backpack on her back soon. She obeys. He ties a rope around her waist, and she already clings to his back. The 2 are preparing to jump when the blondie out of nowhere puts the club in his hand and says that his backpack there seems to be full of climbing stuff, and warns that it's good for him to leave this backpack now, or he'll leave with 1 less arm. The door. But it just says he's really dumb, and boom. Jumps in front of the guys without caring. Guy falls on the other side, carrying newbies. Bro is confused. This guy is crazy to jump like that. The girl is crying, shaking, and while saying she's okay at least. But man, apocalypse, huh? There are always perverts. Didi's disciple there looking and licking his lips, saying that's interesting. Wow, while the friends are even worse, huh? Really, Didi's family. The guys were there watching this disgrace. When the guy arrives there and asks for a big cigarette, the blue hair says he's stubborn. Man, he got that cigarette here in an old man's body. He has very few. They're planning to invade a certain place of a school, but the bald guy says it's all closed. How are they going to do it? Mom doesn't say it's easy. Just throw a bunch of zombies and call the 5th brother to break everything. Suddenly, the pumped-up guy there of 2 meters enters the room, wanting to know what's going on. The guy here already said the 5th brother. So this place here is full of zombies. Outside, man. We'll be stuck here forever. The blue hair says it's crazy. From one day to the next, everything changed. This apocalypse is a disgrace. But it's obvious that the 5th brother is the worst, and says they're not seeing the beauty of the apocalypse. Now they can do whatever they want, and take advantage of whoever they want. The world has changed, and now the strong rule. For them, this is not an apocalypse. Yes, the skies, but at night. About some lefts. The protagonist sneaks, taking a look at the zombified. He calls the girl who comes in a hurry. All beautiful in this escape. Rappa take a look to the side. Keep running. But she's asking him to slow down. She's not a runner. The Pertinho looking. She just thinks she was fooled by this pretty face. Bringing this wretch was really idiotic. The crazy. He keeps speeding up, saying it's good for her to try to catch up to him, while the girl there is sweating a lot, being that she will do her best not to be abandoned. Suddenly they arrive in front of a door. The prota knows that in theory that was the entrance to the school, and suddenly there will be some people inside. But one thing is certain. It was also full of zombies. In one of the rooms, the students are blocking a door, where several zombies are knocking, and inside the staff are all giving up of life. For them, all they could do now was wait for death. That's when one girl sees two people arriving at the front door and already shouting, calling for them. The girl, who I don't know the name yet, must be said that there are living people, because the prota replies that the priority is for them to protect themselves and not save anyone. However, the teenagers are all there screaming, asking for help with tears in their eyes, while the prota remains cold, saying that these screams will only attract more zombies, and it's good for them to move away from there. The shouting continues, while the girl just turns around and apologizes. She is very sad not being able to save anyone, because the prota explains that she has to stop being an idiot. If they are trapped in the room, it's because there are a lot of zombies in front of the door. If she wants so much to save them, let her go there alone and do something. Damn, school found Grace like that out of nowhere. FIA. The girl was all disoriented, walking around the schoolyard. Several dead zombies. She wonders what he went there to do. With that, she thanks him for saving her and wants to know the boy's name. The zone, however, says she is innocent. If you think you'll only pay with thanks, she must know very well what he wants from her. Right, guy? That's right. Guys use her as a trap to attract several zombies. The sucker realizes she's screwed. It would be better if he was a normal guy who wanted her in some other way. And the own warns that it's good for her not to think she's precious, or that he saved her because she's pretty, but because at this moment, she for him is more useless than a bag of noodles. Damn, that kid doesn't stop either. Dude, he's a humiliation machine towards the poor girl. Finally, she introduces herself and says her name is Liang Xuan. The protagonist says his name. She's all happy, right? Wow, she said that even though he's smelly, he's not a bad person. My God. Protagonist, let's brush those teeth. Old man being trashed. Playgirl. Right at that moment, they see a lot more students at the window, knocking, asking for help, but one of them is being eaten, while two others are crying. And the protagonist knows that it's in this region that the dungeon key had fallen, and that's why the kid suddenly calls himself Spider-Man, starts climbing the pipe. Up there, someone is being devoured by a zombie, and when he entered through the window, giving him a kick, the monster goes to the ground. He already pulls out a knife and finishes the first one. While ready, there are people joining with Professor Pooh, asking for help and assistance. Ah, okay. Professor, thanks the protagonist for saving the students. While the protagonist is just thinking that maybe these people here have seen exactly where the dungeon key fell. The teacher goes near the body there and says it's a shame that he died. Tell the rest of the students not to cry. That's soon. Soon they would find a way out of this place. And if she wants to know what the Pertinia went there for. At the time, he turns around and warns that he's looking for something. And if they tell him, he promises to protect everyone there. Now that I saw that the teacher has all this talent, and she wants to know what he's looking for, he asks about that light that appeared in the sky, and wants to know the position. People. Seems to be kind of lying. The teacher, but says she saw it and has a condition. First he would have to save them, and only then would they say, "Oh, Prota," but asks her to show proof that she saw the light. He then replies that he's not sure, but if he's talking about that glow that looked like a meteor that fell near the school, she saw that one. The Pertinia realizes that she really seemed to have seen, and wants to know where carriage, because she insists, saying that she will only reveal it if he saves everyone. But the Pertinia is not up for negotiating, and he says that them staying there is a guarantee of death. If they want, they can tell him. He tries to save the people. The teacher wants to know if he guarantees that everyone will get out alive. Our boy is sincere. Says not even forging Rappa. We have more video at school. And with the strength he has, at most he guarantees 2 people getting out alive. But the students are being disgraced, right? Saying that if he can protect 2, He should be able to protect 3. With the strength he has, he should be a good person and protect everyone there. And man, you guys are asking to die. And the protector is already pulling out a machete, saying that in this world, the strong survive and the weak die. Now it would be good for them to say right away if they want to be saved or not. The boy already clings to the teacher's breasts. Bastard. Lucky. Saying that he is very afraid. She, however, tells him not to worry, that she will protect him while he sprouts. Just wants to know who is going to come with her. Hey man. She says there's no reason to hesitate. He was supposed to take the 2 students. I said it's okay. So he's going to take the boys. But where is it? Where did the meteor fall? She replies that when they are safe. Down there. She writes everything on a piece of paper and throws it to him. The protector realizes that this wretch wasn't really stupid. She wasn't going to make his life easier. This answers that he hopes her sacrifice serves for something and sends them to come soon. The students don't say goodbye to the teacher, and the protector goes to the door, noting at the time that there are at least 3 outside. He tells the teacher that the moment he leaves, she closes the door and makes no more noise. The moment he turns the doorknob, the first one already appears. He gives him a kick in the head, and the creature goes against the wall. In the memory, he tells the children to follow, and leaves tearing the head of the first one. Everyone comes in a hurry, while the teacher says goodbye to the students and closes the little door. She lost her only chance to survive, but she had to protect the students until the end. Already on the staircase, the protagonist is running with the 2 dumb coming on his back. The problem is that he had to be very fast to advance there, because otherwise, right, if these children are caught by any zombie, they will instantly be defeated. But suddenly he feels something weird feeling and tells the 2 to retreat. Now the girl wants to know what the problem is, and he just says that there is some danger that he does not understand, but it's coming. She comes to take a look, saying that maybe he felt something wrong. Comes from the empty staircase. He thinks that maybe he really felt something wrong. But what are the chances of that, right, man? Obviously, in the second that he returns to advance, there is something watching the trio from above. Suddenly, a blue monster with a big-mouthed tongue out of nowhere approaches, and the protagonist feels some things on his back. The girl gets a scare there and bumps into the backpack, but apparently he didn't see anything. The monster hid. He tells them to be quiet. Again, he feels that maybe his intuition is going crazy. He really isn't seeing anything. The bug, though, obviously hid on the stairs above, while the prota speaks below that they will continue advancing. They go down another step, but the big guy is already on her back. And boy, my God, a gigantic monster. The Pertinia went ahead. I'm feeling that these 2 kids are going to be devoured. In one bite, the tongue is catching there in the hair, and the girl is a little confused. When it turns, the mouth is already about to be devoured, when the Pertinia's little knife comes flying and cuts the bug. Out of nowhere, our boy threw the knife. But he's all trembling and shitting himself there too, right boy? And the monster noticed that now he is unarmed. In the same second, advances in his direction to give him a grab. But the prota ducks down and manages to serve him in the middle of the mouth. It was easier for that hand to be eaten. And the worst thing is that these monsters have a metallic skin, so it never did any damage. The silver is confused because this bug had evolved so quickly in that. Try to send a spinning flying kick, but the kick also does absolutely nothing. Even worse is that the monster grabs their leg. Put the kid on the floor, boy, and let everything be destroyed. The girls are up there on the stairs, all trembling and can't even get off the floor. The one in yellow is there telling Lily to help. But by FIA, Lily went up, while the monster is making a hammer to crush the Pertinia. He sees the attack coming and is sure there would be no way to escape, while the girl is desperate, knowing she's next. But the American bird enters the scene. Thread that D. Sardigo that our boy got on the roulette has a buff. Clearly easily pierced zombie. He is in shock, thinking he almost died. Already tells the girls to get up quickly. The problem, however, is that a snap of a fucking gun is attracting all the zombies in the building. Hearing the noise coming from below, the girls know that there's no way they can go down. But when they're all thinking they're going to die, suddenly it's Shuin who appears in front of them. She comes all desperate, clings to our boy, saying he's crazy in the head to leave her there alone. The children are relieved that it is a human, while Shuin says he's a damn that left her there, abandoned, and she was afraid of dying. And the silver cuts the whole drama, and just says that she seems tired of dying, since she climbed up there alone. But she explains that there seems to have been a strange glow, a certain light, one direction, and the zombies went all that way. The silver knows that the only type of shine that attracts all the zombies like that, it was the appearance of one of those wheels. They're going down the stairs, and Uncle Ian gets emotional that the Pertinia saved 2 children, right? Little does she know that he must be crazy to kill both of them. And for now, there's a dispute between the two. Friend, right? Because the blue one abandoned the yellow one to die, who now isn't really in the mood to talk. Already down there, the Pertinia stops and gives a stare to the teacher who is at the window. From above, she is happy that at least the children were saved. She, though, keeps thinking that now that she's going to hand over this paper, he won't come save her. She could ask for more, but maybe that wasn't the right thing to do, because the children are already in his hands. With that, she just drops the piece of paper, while Annie stays, impressed that there really was one more person up there. Oops, there was. Just praises, saying that she really is an incredible teacher. The friend wants to know why he didn't save her, but he just ignores her completely while seeing her markings. Now he knows. He can go to the key, or he can go to the roulette, as he has many people who he doesn't want to know about the existence of the keys. He decides that the roulette for now. Maybe it's more important, especially since it would be good to get stronger before going to such dungeon. That's it. He turns to the children and says that if they want, can follow them, that they're going somewhere else. Next scene, they are in front of another building, which is where Chunny knew that most of the zombies had entered. The possessed children, however, ask if he's really looking for death, to go to a place full of zombies. Now that he's got what he had from the teacher, was wanting to use them as a trap. The Proto turns to the Lydium and tells them not to worry, while warning the children that there is no place in this world without zombies. Besides, he wasn't going to be despicable to the point of using them as a trap. With that, little Proto inside the room, while Uncle Ian wants to know what's so important to him is taking such a risk. The children are starting to get scared, and they think they're going to end up dying soon. Following this guy, and the one in the blue shirt there, right? Which is 16 to Q, and is sure he's going to shoot. And soon it will be full of zombies. That she pulls her friend in the yellow clothes, and says that it is better for them to run away and find a place to hide. The other more honest one, right? Says it's crazy. They're going to abandon the 2 of them like that, especially since the boy has already saved them and everything. And this Tio Mim asks what they are doing. And the blue-haired one says she has a stomach ache and is going to the bathroom. Quickly she pulls her friend. But Tioan obviously finds all this very suspicious while praying, so that please the zombie gets out of that room okay. Boy inside the Pertinia is really in front. A crowd of zombies. At least none of them had gone through mutation, so they would be easy to solve. His arm had been kind of broken after the fight with that big mouth, and he gives him a fix. I don't know how right. Final strength of will even though it still hurt. At least he would be able to use it in the fight. At the same time the zombies all come up. He already pulls out the American and the machete, gives him the first shot, and everyone outside gets scared. At the same time, the blue-haired friend already says they have to get out of there urgently. This place will be filled with zombies. The yellow one says it's crazy, but the other one says there is a teacher's room that maybe has food. There they can hide and be very safe. She's trying to pull, but the yellow one rips her hand off. She runs to Aunt Henry and tells her, I came together, saying that they should run away. Ah, the blue hair is angry now. With one more person, they would have to share food. Not to mention it will be more difficult. Still running away from that kid. Till then, however, says she's not interested, because getting away from Zombing was crazy. How long did they think they were going to live? He was strong. In a situation like this, getting away from him was the same as dying. The one in yellow says she's going crazy. This kid doesn't even know how to protect himself, and all the time attracts a lot of zombies. But this girl has amnesia too, right? It looks like 10 seconds ago. Didn't see him fighting a lot of zombies. And Tyoen, however, insists, saying that she will continue by his side. Even so, already inside the room the mountain of corpses was made, and Prada says that as expected the guess was right. The zombies had been attracted by this roulette. But this was not a normal one, but one of 3 colors. Pertinho explains that in addition to the roulettes from 1 to 9, there are also these different ones. There is the 3-color roulette, 6 colors, 9 colors. There are several roulette, dude. Damn. And it is in these colors that you can get the professions. And the color obviously represents the type of profession you receive. One of the best to receive. For example, era de asesino na, that you kill the person easier. The difference is that it's 5 times harder to find a color roulette than a normal roulette. And he didn't expect to find one of those right here. Wow, but these roulettes have the black area. That has the risk of exploding like a bomb. If it was with that friend's card there, right? It would be good, man. The duckling is now scared. Because he is the famous unlucky 1 AI. However, this boy also lived 10 years in the apocalypse. Is all fool. Thinking that that lucky blow the girl gave will make all the difference. Hello from outside. On the street, the girl in the yellow clothes is talking to Uncle Ing that it's better for them to get out of there now. This kid won't be back. The zombies stopped screaming. He must have been devoured. Damn. Uncle Ming. What is this? My daughter went to the silicone roulette. And she is talking. That she is sure that the monsters stopped screaming. Because Zhao Ming killed everything. But the last one in the blue clothes appears. And says that he must have died. It's good to take the opportunity to get out of there now and already pull. The friend still warns that it's good not to be like this idiot. Who keeps thinking that this zombie guy there is an invincible savior. Already. His corpse will get out of there. Oh, crazy FIA. T.O. Henry slaps her in the face, telling her to shut up. That this is going to be a woman fight, girl. The girl got angry and slapped her back in the face too. I thought there was going to be an honest exchange too. But the other one just ran away. Meanwhile, the director is at the window, right? Watching everything, saying that this apocalypse is interesting. And at the same time, tells the little brothers down there to capture that girl. The little brothers don't want to. Dude saying it's full of zombies. They don't want to. But Dee Dee tells them to take advantage of it. That the kid attracted everything to the center. So now at this moment, it's empty without zombies. The 2 dummies are going down a ladder, saying that they finally escaped those idiots. When they come face to face with a shaking truck, they wonder what it is. But the scene goes back to Tio Hen, saying that those damn girls were saved by the Zoom. And now they're acting so ungrateful. Suddenly, she hears a scream, and immediately remembers that it's the voice of the 2 students. But the weirdo comes from behind and grabs her by the waist, saying that it's time for her to meet the guys. Here comes the other disciple of Dee Dee, right? Saying that this one was better than the one before. The brothers are already approaching there, saying that it's rare to find a girl so pretty and so dumb, while she's lost like that in this apocalypse. Meanwhile, Patinia has been collecting, until now, crystal from the zombie's head. The 2 dummies who ran away from them are now running from the zombie that came out of the truck, screaming for help. The zombies are approaching. They are desperate. Except that the sucker in blue there trips on the ground. Oh my god. The one in yellow is a complete idiot, isn't she? Why did she go to help? She will be used as support and thrown backwards, and will be devoured. And that the one in blue is there running out of the corner, saying that she has to survive. That is the most important thing. When she runs into Tyahin, being taken by the 2 guys. And they're saying it's going to be wonderful. Take advantage of this baby. Dee Dee's spirit doesn't stop, does it? But then Tio Een runs into the other one, right? That she slapped her in the face. Wow, dude. But now she's screwed because the madman is greedy and went after it too, saying he's going to take another one for them. But then Tio Een takes advantage of the fact that there's only one holding. She gives him a bite on the hand and runs away. Don't come hold her, saying for the bitch to stay still. Ends up hitting her on the head. She falls to the ground. He throws her by the neck and says he's going to fix this now. So but top million stuck on top of the hand. And the Pertinia already pulled his wife to his lap, man. She's all emotional. Ox, my daughter, calm down there, that the fight is not over yet. Especially since the Pertinia gave him the stab and left it in the guy's hand. Oh my God. Don't bleed. The guy is screaming desperately, saying that the fifth brother won't let him get out of this. But the Pertinya just advances and gives him a stab in the middle of the guy's belly, that he goes rolling backwards. He already comes with that reverse kick and takes him in the face. The guy faints in this. He tells Taehin to wait for him there, that he has something to resolve. He asks where the other girls are, and she says they fled in that direction. The Pertinya follows there, while the fallen fool is crying desperately. Apparently, the Pertinya has already seen the body of the other girl there, and knows she was devoured. And Chuin says she really has been saved. Twice. And doesn't listen to anyone. Idiot soul. The fool is still apologizing, saying she'll never act like that again. While Chuin wants to know what the Prota is going to do with these bastards. Next to, he tells you not to worry, that the zombies will eat. Not Pertinya. That's not how you do it. You grab the machete and pass it on both their necks. That's how you guarantee they'll die. That Pertinya tells the two to go there, to the media center that he killed everything. It's obviously that damn Garanciosa that I already want to be. Her neck destroyed and beheaded. Is there celebrating? Now she is sure that Zhao Ming is strong. Maybe that girl was right. It was better to stay close to him. And the protagonist turns around telling them to wait there, that he has to take a certain person there. True, right? Now that I remembered our dear Mush, bewitched there, that he left in the house at the beginning. Or maybe it's not her son, because the teacher is in the room there, and there are a lot of zombies banging on the door. She's confused, thinking that maybe her turn has come, after so many students have been killed there. You bastard who censored. And you think you hide the power of this teacher. Have you seen how strong she is? All right, kid. Wow. And she decided it's better than becoming a zombie. And it was ending her own suffering. And her greatest sadness in this life is that she will die without ever having had a boyfriend. But right at that moment, the door breaks. And obviously who arrived, right? Loyal Prota, saying it took a while to open. For God's sake. He asks if she's okay. And then she drops the glass, crying there like an author of a pie. He said it was obvious that he would come back to save her. Ah, you scoundrel. And whoever sees, thinks, right? Only saved for some reason that I don't know yet. Ah, it's because she knows the place where the meteor fell, right? True. And she's there turning on the car's airbags. And for the first time, the Prota is a little flushed. Huh. Apparently, we discovered the boy's weak point. She says she was sure he was dead. And it's good to see that he actually survived. The protagonist says he's going to take her to a safe place. And meanwhile, the girls are there, collecting the crystals from the zombies' heads. Oh, Uncle Wei doesn't understand why. That Zhao Ming keeps asking her to get them all the time. This while the damn one that I want to be beheaded is angry, saying that this damn is making her do disgusting things. At this hour, Professor Pull comes calling for the so-called Lily. So gives a hug. The two are all happy. The gigantic teacher, however, wants to know where Chow Chow is. Lily tells you that a lot has happened, kind of implying that she went to the afterlife. But the teacher brought it, right? Thinks the girl is traumatized and caresses her there. I think it's bad, but interrupts, saying that if they had trusted Zhoming, none of this would have happened. But this Lily is really a disgrace. Is still saying that the blame is Zhoming's for being there at the beginning, having decided to save only two, instead of having saved the teacher too. The Rain insists, saying that they should be grateful for having saved someone. That's right. Look there. But says she won't be grateful. Someone who could have saved everyone. But I prefer not to. And the two are in the discussion. You're cursing, saying this or that, until Pom gets slapped in the face. Fio Pertinya tells him to shut up, saying that just because he saved her once doesn't mean he won't send her to the zombie again. Besides that, it's good for her to remember that he has no obligation to protect her. While Fio talks about Pratinya, he just needed to pass the knife instead of the slap. But it's okay. Even the teacher is angry with Lily, telling her to be more grateful to the person who saved both. Atio Win realizes that at least the teacher, knows the situation he is in this. Atio Win wants to know, why is our boy collecting these crystals? He just tells you to follow, that he will show why. On that we are in the such roulette man. And Team India asks if it's to go. If he says he'll explain how to use it, take Lily's crystals there. Sucker 2, and at the time will activate. The problem with skill roulette is that there is no crystal limit. You have to put a lot, and eventually it activates. He just hopes that 26 are enough for him to spin. At least one. Finally, everything starts to spin, and he celebrates, saying that at least it worked. The business falls into the red area, and a strange block comes out of it. This was perfect, because red were the combat classes. The class, however, that falls was a glorious craftsman, allowed to refine techniques, skill improvement, create certain items, and apparently it wasn't a construction class. But the however doesn't seem excited about any of that. Oh, crazy. He said that in the red it was just a damage class. But in the next chapter he tells me that that one he picked up there of construction is actually a support class. My classes are normally divided into a rank: trainee, novice, intermediate, and advanced. And he's done for right to have achieved something like that. Support. So annoying. There. He's telling him to show right away what he got there. The little plate doesn't seem very interested and sends it to the big teacher right when the artist doesn't censor. We see the talent of the badass. Besides that, he's kind of confused because he got this weird flag. Look here, a bunch of symbols here and there. The girls are giving it a read and seem to realize that it kind of reminded them of something related to a game. And that Uncle Ian says that apparently craftsmen can create techniques of up to 5 types at the same time. This draws Zhong Ming's attention, who asks to take another look. Now it was explained why that little medal had 5 colors. Each one represented a skill. Apparently that was good, because he wonders if he was really born lucky in this life. Right now, he tells them to go now to collect more crystal, because they need as much as possible to gain an advantage. Teacher. And the other one is kind of excited, while Lily is just in the corner giving that look. Meanwhile, Dee observes everyone, realizing that this guy was strangely strong. How was the kid alone killing so many zombies? What he doesn't understand is because all the bodies are being taken in there. That's when he notices that not only that, they seem to be tearing something off their foreheads. The bald guy asks what Jerry is finding out there. Hey, but he immediately orders to call all the brothers that they had work to do. He discovered the secret of the bastards. Meanwhile, down there, Uncle Ian says that maybe that's enough. Oh, crazy. What angle is that, son? Just for her. Show that belly and say she's hungry. The little plate delivers something there for her to eat, and she thanks, while he says he's already looked at the water of this place, and maybe it's still drinkable. Probably the school's water tank hadn't been damaged that. He starts taking off his backpack and tells her that there's food inside, enough for 3 days plus, of medicine and stuff like that he wants her to take care of. Juin is kind of confused, and he just tells her to be very careful, because this has now become extremely valuable. That's because the little plate wants to leave. He can't risk taking it outside and end up losing crazy. But the girl is terrified, saying she doesn't want to keep something so valuable. Not like that. He, however, says he'll have to trust her temporarily. For now, this place will be their shelter until they finally finish collecting the crystals. At that time, fucking annoying Lily shows up again, right? To do what she knows best. Bother. Wanting to know if he's going to abandon everyone. He answers yes. For now, he's going to abandon everyone there. We'll look for resources because they will only get in the way. Oh, crazy. FIA even activated the craftsman's technique there, turned a piece of wood into a spear. Even warned that he had already made it clear that he has no obligation to protect anyone there if they wanted to survive, to use this to defend themselves. Otherwise, what awaited everyone was death. Lily is there with water, but the professor says she understood. In this world now, they also needed to learn to protect themselves. And in that, pulls Lily by the arm and says she has to understand that life has changed. My daughter, you no longer have your parents to protect, you know. The Pretinia tells her to take the big wood and learn to defend yourself. But when he's leaving, Akowin shouts for him and asks him to come back. Be safe. The Pretinia, however, only sends that Ares bitch, and with that we're outside. Obviously he's hunting for the dungeon key, which is the most important, and that's why he didn't want to bring any damned. Finally, he manages to find the construction area of the school annex, which is where theory says it fell. But when he's there loafing around like a jerk, suddenly something approaches. What is that ox out of nowhere? A damned thing fell into my hand. Boy from heaven, send me to this world that I want now. Girl, just open your arms. The Prada is in shock. The woman is also confused. But that's it. Calm down, she's a Beyblade. Spun out. Fell on her back, pulled her arm. Immobilized the boy, wanting to know what he's doing there. But the boy is not stupid either. Came out from underneath. Big hand on his neck. Pum slammed it against the wall, boy. She asks if he's gone crazy. Out of his mind for assaulting a police officer. Ox, you assaulted him first. Are you crazy, my daughter? A short time later, she's there cracking her neck, saying that he even has good reflexes. He replies that he has been training for 10 years. And she is impressed, saying that there is more time than her, when she's going to say something else. But son, out of nowhere, one American project almost catches the two that have to be. Hide. Get cover. The protagonist is confused, wanting to know why he is suddenly being targeted, and he explains that it is she who is being hunted. The protagonist finds it strange, right? Why they want to kill the police. And she says that it is exactly because she is from the police that they want to kill her. This is because it was a bunch of prisoners. The protagonist remembers that in the past life too, these damn prisoners, when they were released, they wanted to go out killing everyone like they were ants. At least, it's because of this type of guy that he doesn't need to be merciful. The problem is that the bastards are shooting a lot. He doesn't know where these bastards got weapons from. He explains that they managed to take over a police station and took everything that was there. Next chapter. She's trying to see if the guy is alive. My friend, he's more punctured than cheese. Clearly, no need to check to see if it's beating. That's not it. I went back to see if the last chapter, something was missing. But no, really this is the next one. And it seems that it was the protagonist who killed this guy. Now it's explained why he's so punctured. She's kind of scared, wanting to know why. He says that it's one prisoner who harms others and was shooting. He deserved this. If she really, I thought he was going to let that guy get out alive. She was innocent. She says he's crazy. But he warns that there is no more law in this world. Those guys who were just there to steal and kill didn't deserve to stay alive. He's saying that all dark, huh? While he remembers that in the past life, Tadabai Sisi was killed by this type of guy. And he warns that's why he doesn't show mercy to anyone. Well, we're going to have to deduce that he killed the three, because there was no image. I went back to see if I could find it, and I didn't find it. So yeah, that's it. The policewoman is thinking that even though he was a bit extreme, right, it really made a little sense. What she's kind of confused about is that this kid is too young to be killing someone like that. Without hesitating for a second, what happened to this boy to turn him into a cold-blooded guy? Meanwhile, there's a pineapple head warning the Dyer that the guys he sent there already got shot and were also eaten by zombies. Dyer is kind of confused that everyone died. And the pineapple says, damn, big brother. So that kid there practices martial arts, right? Why don't we let him live and ignore him? For now, takes a punch in the face. Obviously, it says no way, he's the owner of this region. He wants all the women and will rule everything. He asks if everyone is gathered. And the pineapple says yes. They are prepared. That of him. Open the door and tell everyone to scream that they are going out to hunt. Today they were going to end that arrogant kid who dared to step on their territory and killed the brothers. The pineapple will say that he sent the brothers, but he just takes another one in the face. And in that, Dyer says that the reason he is dead doesn't matter. What matters is that this kid is in their area. They can't leave him around. Anyone who provoked them had to be killed. The fools all celebrate, saying that the boss is right, and he warns that today this kid dies. The pineapple fool boy wants to know how he can help. Sure to be used as a trap. Meanwhile, outside, the Pertinia is picking up something there on the ground. The policewoman wants to know, right? What is he looking for? And he said it's an important key. She wants to know what the key is like. He has to answer that he actually has no idea. Let's say her design is quite unique, to the point that when she sees it, she will know exactly what it is. But the truth is he's waiting for it to get dark, because the key emits a very faint light, but it already helps to locate. Suddenly, she says next to her that she found it and asks if this is it. When he turns around, it's actually a key with a bug from that anime. Boy, the prototype has to explain that the design is unique, but not that one. Ella throws it far away to the corner. However, it falls at the feet of some creature that's coming out of the smoke. The boss said there's a dog coming. And the proto, when he goes to take a look, he notices it looked more like some kind of zombie. The policewoman explains that probably it was one of the dogs they trained at the base. But anyway, when the creature comes out of the smoke, it's full of horns on its head. The monster opens a mouth full of little balls, and at the same time jumps towards the homing. The Pertinya gets that shock. Big Mouth is coming towards him. He recognizes it instantly as a level 2 mutated dog. Boy, the creature is fast because his American shot is all missing badly. Wow, he's going to be thrown to the ground. The girl shouts, I'm telling him to be careful. The biter is almost catching his face. But strangely, the creature gives him a sniff and gets excited. The producer is kind of confused, wanting to know what happened to this crazy dog, while the policewoman said he clearly seemed to be kind of liking the guy. If you're not seeing him wagging his little tail, there is kind of strange. My God, here comes a flashback. Are you going to tell me he saved this dog one day? There's our mini protagonist, right? Walking down the street there, when there's this skinny dog, and a guy is going to give him a kick. But the puppy is fast, son. Stole the bread and still leaked. The chubby guy said he's going to kill. He throws the bottle. Wow, I thought the duckling was going to come on stage, but he took a bottle anyway. But when the guy comes to check his back, the puppy tries to leave. But then the Pertinho appears on his back and calls the human, telling him to stop it. I'll save a question. What is the child doing here? The little dish explains that this dog has a fierce bacteria. Bit his arm once. He was infected for a few days. The chubby guy is already kind of agitated, and our boy says it's better not to touch it. Otherwise he might catch some disease. Then he'll die quickly. And that the puppy leaves. And the fat guy also scratching his belly, saying that he really is unlucky not to be able to step on that damn thing. Prado got all emotional saying he did good. But when he looked down, the puppy was stuck to his foot. He felt sorry for the little animal that had hurt its tail, right? Because the guy even got to step on it. But then he gave him a cookie to eat, but saw that he was still suffering. It was just a pity, because he couldn't take it home, that his family didn't have the money to raise a dog. Damn boy, I'm already emotional here that you didn't eat him, right? Usually in these Chinese works what happens. Our boy apparently visited him several times, and now he recognizes that it's the so-called yellow pill. My God, what a horrible name you gave your dog. A girl from the army says he was lucky to be soon. One that he knows, but comments that this name is peculiar. The Pertinho explains that when he found the animal, it was kind of longuinho and yellow. That's why he gave it that name. Really a genius. He's there having fun, while now the other is there, all excited and cross-eyed as hell, right? Saying he really has a cute side. Meanwhile, at the girl's base, Lily continues to work overtime, saying that Aunt Win clearly has more food in that backpack. People is not the strength of our girl. And she said no. She doesn't have it. But Lily knows she's an idiot who's lying and is full of lunchboxes and cans inside that backpack and doesn't want to share, but tells her to be quiet and happy. She already gave her some cookies to eat, and it was better than nothing. Otherwise it was good for her to vomit and return. And here comes Lily putting her hand in the backpack, saying that since she's not going to give it, she's going to take it. But the Taizinho just pulls it to his chest, saying that Zhao Ming asked her to take care of it, and no one there had permission to touch it. Lily keeps insisting, saying not to use Zhao Ming, to try to scare her, because he's not even there, while the teacher asks to calm down, saying that the girl must have a reason, and it's good to save even. Now that I realized, everyone in this work is kind of cross-eyed man. He's there, saying she really is a bitch, who works for others. It's the only thing she's good for. While Tio Ninho has already lost patience for her. This girl was too arrogant. She'll never give her food. The teacher tells bitch that this food does not belong to them. Besides, she's already divided apart, so they should just be happy. But Lele is there brutally strong, saying that this damn teacher was also very kind. This Zhao Wing keeps risking his life all the time. Who knows, he won't even come back. That's right. The little Pertinho from afar is Coughing Man, still in the same location. in the damn dungeon key. But now there's something else. Observing from the smoke. And this time it doesn't seem to be a friendly dog. But that's where the Pertinia sees a golden glow. Among the stones. Man, from there is the key is good. This dance is not worth it. Because it was really hard. He celebrates that he finally found it, and she will praise. When suddenly there's a tongue next to her. A four-eyed giant lizard frog. Already pulling to give him a bite. But the zombie manages to advance. Cuts the big tongue man. Already activating the craftsman's strengthening. Giving the dagger one more power. But he realized that if it weren't for the class, he wouldn't have cut that. The physical was not enough. To face this creature, the monster comes to give him another one. But the Pertinia manages to duck, while the pill goes on his foot and takes a bite. The monster is a little confused to be attacked by another monster, while the Pertinia now appears on the side and pierces it there. The first eye. It's fucked up. Yes, you're going to aim for the eye of the animal that has that 16 eyes. There won't do much good. Boy, and the boy's cardio is not up to date. Not that he jumped and dodged once, and already exhausted, saying that his stamina is not enough, and that he hides there behind some rocks. Tells the animal to come, that at the time it advances, but suddenly the pill comes in front. Our Prota, however, tells him to dodge, but the beast only releases the roar that, showing that it's a dog. Actually, it's a bark. Strangely. But the lizard seems to kind of back down, trying to divert, while the pill is there. It's Latino, until the beast gives him a big bite, destroying the ground. But the pill goes to the side, and manages to take a bite out of the shell. It was too good, right, son? The animal threw him up, and one gives him a tail in the middle of his belly. Was thrown like a torpedo. The animal is already all crooked with its eyes half closed, while the animal comes to finish in the claws. Now it's the protagonist who has to get involved in this, who advances holding the blade there. Manages what is the attack, but it's also thrown away. But in the middle of the bite that the bug is coming to give, suddenly, something crosses the middle of his mouth. Boy talks about the policewoman. Son saving our boy. A stranger falls to the ground, and the little prot relaxes, saying phew, as expected of a policewoman. She's looking kind of exhausted, while the pillar approaches, and he caresses. The damn thing, however, is barking, licking, while, obviously, there must be someone else approaching this smoke. My God. People, get out of it. The little prod is already there in the bug's cerebellum, and he calls the cop to take a look. He shows the crystal that was one of the most valuable resources of this apocalypse. Wow. It gave a little gray too. I thought it was going to be a more responsive little crystal. Get out. A lot of work to kill this monster. And she asks if this thing really has magic. And he explains that it's something similar, but even more incredible than magic. She wants to know what it's for. He says that if she's so curious, we'll have to agree to one condition. But she turns around angry, saying she's not interested. No way she, one policewoman, will agree with the options of one civilian like this guy. She can just investigate and find out. What is that crystal for? They're what the Pertinia discovered. That not every woman is the same as the first 12, that he once showed his strength. And they were all fatherless. Oh, crazy son. And she says that now that he's found the key, can go away. Even Pertinia is surprised, saying, wow, our friendship is over like this, friend. Suddenly his face changes, right? Little rascal, saying, actually, I have something to ask you. So as you can see, this world here is sinister, right? Full of bad people. Why don't we make a little team? They're to take care of each other, huh? I know you want to be taken care of, you rascal. Very big, this policewoman. Even Pertinho is a little disappointed that he is having to be so humble, while she, on the other hand, is giving him a laser stare, and in that she says, okay, even though your actions are a bit extreme, you're not such a bad person. The little dish stretches out his hand, introduces himself, and finally I'll know the name of the damn woman. It's almost a woman. Next chapter starts with a body on the floor. The guy grabbing a gun and getting all excited, when the other one with the scar on his nose tells him to be very quiet, or they'll find them there. He points to the side and says, then we'll go there. And it's not to make any noise. Obviously, it's them getting Pertinia from afar. Wow. The bro told them to be quiet. But now he arrives screaming, hey, you son of a bitch, stay still. The one with the scar says he's crazy. But he answers, boy, we're here to kill, man. Yuri told us not to forgive anyone. And with that he already points the machete. The woman has no idea who they are. And the protest says that it's more than obvious, right? Clearly these bastards were criminals. The dude is trying to shoot some shots there. But strangely the weapon isn't working. The friend already said, "You mental patient. You have to disable the security device there." But the fool is all confused, wanting to know what this device thing is about. But while they are in this chat, the fur there comes approaching from the side. And give it. A jump bites the guy's hand. Wow, it was violent, man. At that moment the guy screams desperately, asking for help from the other guy there. But the dude is already in shock too. There's no chance against a zombie like that. At the same time that the girl has already passed on the back, and came with an elbow in the middle of the fool's mouth, threw his arm over his shoulder, and threw him to the ground. Boy, what a force. The Pertinho is there scared, thinking that it's really good not to provoke that one. In the future, sometime later, the dude there is already on the ground. And I tell who wants the fifth brother. But you have to stop this bleeding. Here on my arm. The Pertinho, however, says that he is not the one at risk of life. So it's good to tell right away. Meanwhile, they're at Yuri's base. And the pineapple head is saying they should go back to eat. The guy tells him to continue, and the pineapple asks, "Hey bro, but why? That you're not collecting this thing here from the forehead. From the zombie. Disgusting business. Get out." Yuri asks if he has any idea what the word loot means. Pelerinho says yes. Loot is like equipment item. But this here clearly shouldn't be that. Wow. Took a dive in the head and got all cross-eyed this. This pineapple is getting beaten so much that I'm thinking that eventually it's him who's going to kill Yuri, who is there celebrating, saying that he has no idea what the use is of these crystals. But if that kid was risking himself for this, there's something I man. It's at the base of the Pertinho. Look who's staring at Tianhinho sleeping. Get out. You weirdo, you've deserved to die for a long time. And she got up, arrived in front of her with this macabre smile and what is this fizz? Holding a big glass in her hand. Bleeding. Still thinking. That damn Tio Win. Always using Zoming's name to threaten. And acting arrogantly. This shit is having all the resources to survive. And now she's going to die in my hands. But that's when the teacher gets up and asks what Lily is doing. She turns around hiding the thing, saying that she felt a bit bad and was going to the bathroom. Nothing suspicious. Weirdo, get out. And Lily is even angrier, wanting to know why. The why. This teacher also has to be so innocent and so idiotic. This was the world of the apocalypse. Resources were important. So, why doesn't she help her tear that people? Not to mention that Zhao Wing and Tu Wing were already starting to mess with her. Really, I could only depend on myself to stay alive. Oh, of course. It's not because you're the person who deserves to die the most in this apocalypse. But right at that moment a loud noise is heard from outside. The three are already preparing there, wanting to know what's going on. Chun explains that something is knocking on the door. The teacher is scared, while Chun says that in theory everything is fine. Zombies won't be able to enter this place. The problem is that who is knocking on the door is almost breaking everything. And they are desperate, wanting to know who is on the other side. Suddenly, there is a second of silence and take another bang. At the time Lily yells saying that this will be destroyed, when suddenly the business rises and a bunch of guys show up. Holy Mary. And the crazy guy already saw it, right? Follower of the day. The first thing he says is that he found wonderful women here. The teacher wants to know what they're doing there. Hey man. In a second, the dude already grabbed Taoinho's wood and took it from her hand, while the other one is holding a portable cancer, is already in Taoinho's face, saying she's pretty hot. There are only perverts in this apocalyptic world, right? For God's sake. In that, however, one there with white hair warns that there was another short-haired girl who ran. They were supposed to capture her. The guy says that the fifth brother didn't ask to kill the girls, no? Just to finish off the so-called boy. There, however, the so-called Don Zik, this one with white hair, warns that the boss is not here, so he's in charge. In addition, those girls there were his companions, so they're going to capture everything. Big Mac says he's going to capture her. But friend, you're not in condition to run. While there is a Tommy Key haircut, already sticks to the teacher. wanting to know her name, and asks if she doesn't recognize him. Crazy. It seems he was once a student. He's going in with his big hand. Get out. Oh, you crazy. Oh my God. Here it comes, right? The baldy is there pulling Uncle Rin's jacket too, saying that she even seems kind of familiar. They recognize her as an online celebrity from a certain social network. If he's not mistaken, her name is Leong and Uncle N. Ready. I know you're learning these two, man. Upside down. But how about going back to base as soon as possible? The woman wants to know what the next steps are. He speaks. Since there are people who want to see me dead, I'm going to have to kill these guys and pay a visit. Moi thinks they need to first collect some weapons and prepare. But he says she's dreaming. This world here is chaotic, and hiding is not his style. They will solve this directly. Going to these guys' base. She just agrees. Says okay. But she wants to know the usefulness of the key in this. She says this is a dungeon key. Something that will open in the future. She's not understanding. Is D'Angelo opening the future? But magic, what's going on? And he tells her to start getting used to it. More and more. Things that go beyond their imagination will start to happen. She wants to know when to use the key. He says only when they are strong enough. Meanwhile, at the base, Lily is running away from McDonald's. Boy, who's in a hurry, huh? Who said Ronald isn't fit. And yet, he warns that if she doesn't stand still, when he captures, he'll break her legs and arms. And Lily bumped into a door. Boy, the hour. McDonald's came from behind and warns that now she has nowhere to run. Slams her head on the door and says he hates. Because all the girls hate him. But now that the apocalypse has arrived, none of that matters. Because he can create his own opportunities. That's not how it works. You bastard there. But manipulative daughter. She said he's nothing strange, no. She would never speak ill of him. The guy sings everything. Would I trust you? She grabs his hand and says that. Unlike these girls. She's just a student. Plus she realized he wasn't. Nothing disgusting. In fact, he looked like a very strong man. If he had the will, she would do whatever he wanted. I do not understand. To prevent it from happening, she decided to make it happen. Let's say so, right? I think you got our point. And was rejected by McDonald's, who says her appearance is SOSO. But he can't betray his brother. It was good. She came quickly with him to find the group. She asks him not to do that. Because if she goes, she will only die and nothing else. But he says that now she's with him. No way he's going to let her die. Boy. But the girl is accurate. Dude is already with the thing behind his back, preparing to send the cut in that. The door opens and Lily is scared. Dude, I know we are seeing the teacher in this situation. All defeated there. But, from what I understand here that I read further ahead, she was only beaten physically. It was UFC style. No need to think that they went further, right? I hope. The chubby guy is scared. While Donzi tells him, be careful because the teacher is tough. And bit the other guy there. The dude is all bleeding. Crying. Saying he's going to end that bitch. Oh, what a miracle. I thought Lily wouldn't even care. But she was sad for the teacher. And the bald guy warns right this girl. Then the idiot followed me and she wants to join the group. Oh, Donzi. Thinks it's strange, boy. Apparently. At least this girl seems smart and knows how to switch sides this. The big guy calls her and introduces her, telling her to say hi to brother Donzi. And she's all crooked, right? Gives a little wave. He asks if she really wants to be part of it. She said yes. She accepts any order. The area says okay. So all she had to do was beat that girl up. Look, it's Auntie Wynn, who she doesn't like much. The girl is going to be grateful for this. And she already gives him the first slap. Auntie Wynn turns around and says she really is a monster, while Donzi is celebrating, saying that he found out she was a celebrity. It's going to be wonderful to see her get beaten up, while Lily is thanking Don Zinho, saying he was nice, because she always wanted to hit that girl. Poor Tim. She just saw that there's not much to do there. Oh, protagonist, let's go back to your base. Let's go, man. He just abandons the women. Do you remember that the story started with him? With a woman in a house. He told her to wait for him. He still hasn't gone to see that girl. Lily is there holding Uncle Zinho by the hair, saying that her pretty face makes her even angrier. At this time, Don Zinho says that's enough. She is already qualified to join the beginning group. He tells the bald guy called Mingum that this girl is now his woman. It's good not to let her cause any problems. Was enveloped in Big Mac's arms. But clearly she didn't seem very excited. And right at that time Donzi is wanting to start a revolution. It seems they were a separate group before. But now they're all having to offer Didi. And their plan now is obviously to escape. Because they want to be an independent group. Enough of obeying that damn trash. They can disappear and follow their own life. The apocalypse has arrived. And now that they have the chance to dominate, why would they obey orders? That trash like a dog. The guys all celebrate, saying they will follow brother Donzi forever. While the guy is even celebrating, saying that today is the day that Lao Lu dies. Good thing the guys didn't want to kill the girls. Or do something else, right? Until now, I don't know if anything really happened. With the teacher, I confess. There we are the next day in the morning with A. Taking a look there through the party door. Taking a ride in the canteen of their old base. The Don Zinho enters saying that it is perfect that it is empty, because they are going to make an ambush. But in that a bone hits him in the face. The guy turns around confused, asking who did that. And it's the protagonist, right? Saying there that the bastards took a long time. Donzel is angry. Let me save this chicken there to celebrate. And asks what the kid is doing there. The protagonist gets up and says, "Weren't you guys wanting to find me? I saved everyone's time. And I'm here in front of you." Donzi, however, knows that if this kid is standing there, it means that the rest of the base failed. The protagonist warns that the last ones who tried to kill him died instantly. His turn arrived. Except that Donzi tells him to bring the girl. At the same time, obviously, he tells the boy to take a look at what he brought. Man, his comrade had been captured. The woman said the bastard is disgusting. While Donzi asks what he's going to do now. His comrade was now in the villain's hands. This girl was a celebrity. So I'm obviously going to return her. It wouldn't be cheap. Zao, however, says it's a shame he tried that one, because he has no relationship with this girl. The guy tells him to stop being arrogant. Says he saw them walking around together. He was basically using her, and she was using him. And that's it. But the second Donzi gets distracted, he advances once and for all, and stabs the guy in the middle of his arm. The muscle gives him that tremble. He ends up letting go, and the pro manages to pull her back. In the memory, Donzi orders the rest of the group to attack, but the pro has already thrown Tio Win back there. The first fool comes advancing to punch him, but he leaves on the side and I want to see one in the middle of his chin. The boy was already going to be all wobbly tripping, but in that the pro is surrounded on all four sides. He takes a look back, sees the guys approaching, and tells them to come soon, because he's in the mood to clean up the trash today. The first one with the gray stripe comes to punch him, but the pro takes a step back, grabs his arm and breaks it. At the same time he throws him on the ground. That this is dire too. Boy came getting close to the prota, but he puts his hand behind the human's head, turns him forward, explodes him on the ground. The blonde sucker is shitting himself when the so-called Mingao appears pushing him to the side, saying that he will solve this. Already pointing a machete in the direction of our prota. The guy tries to give the first punch man, but the Pertinia gets out from underneath and gives him a serving in the middle of the ribs. The problem is that the damn thing has a Big Mac cape, stays standing, but tries to give him another one in the Pertinia, who manages to get behind the blade. Oh crazy. Gave an inverted slap, all with the guefu on top of the hand, making the guy drop the knife. At the same time as changing the balance of the body to the other foot, throws one up there and hit him in the nuca. The fat guy goes to the ground and the blonde is already fallen, asking to be forgiven. This damsel, he is mentally challenged. He's holding the teacher now and says that if the boy moves, he'll smash her head on the ground. Hit there, man. You'll have to kill her first. When we look back, we discover a good thing. The guy says that he hasn't had fun with her yet because he was waiting for the right moment. Boy. But Lily that I hate so much is on her back there with her hand, just getting ready. And the little imp tells the idiot, keep an eye on him now, or he'll kill her. But in this, suddenly he gets a bite in the middle of the mouth. Lily tells the bastard not to touch the teacher, while thinking that she doesn't care about anyone. But the teacher treated her well. With that boy, we solve everything. And it was the worst possible thing, right? Lily acted like a hero now. That is, it will be even harder to get this woman away. Everyone is trapped, and the teacher thanks there, while Lily cries, saying she's happy that the teacher is okay and didn't suffer so much. Uncle Rim, however, shouts saying that Lily is a traitor, while the dear woman is realizing that the protagonist was already full of women around. And obviously the teacher says that she must have been pretending that she was with the villain to have created this opportunity. Oh boy, it got complicated for poor Choin. Even the woman says that the girl seems to have accepted the humiliation to kind of deceive the villain. Why was she being so selfish? Choin doesn't want to accept this because she knows the truth, but the prota asks her to calm down and stop all this fighting. But boy, she uses her maximum power, Fisha o Femenino, and throws herself crying on our boy's chest. Oh crazy. But the woman didn't like her, no, son, saying that this girl is too weak. Damn. At the same time, because she is also being stared at by Lily. The girl's life is not easy in the apocalypse. Threat of hatred from all sides. Hug in the Pertinho right there, that is your chance, hum. Guys, look who discovered the wheel man. Himself, Didi, with a bunch of crystals in his hand. Saying that, now it's explained how that guy got strong. Finally, he would be able to kill everyone. Pineapple Head, wanting to play in the little wheel too. Hey man. But the money hits him on the head, telling him to shut up. And together the two celebrate. Oh my god. They screwed up. Fell right into the explosive. They are thinking it will be something incredible, saying that this seems to be the best prize. When suddenly from the middle of the scroll, an old man appears. There I thought it exploded in black. But I also thought that in red. It was just combat stuff, right? I think the roulette is so random that not even the screenwriter is able to keep up. And in that, the old man warns that he received the alchemist profession. Obviously the dude doesn't seem very excited about it, because it didn't seem to be something of combat. In that he sends the Warenho to get that pile of stuff that was around that base. That's when they saw some interesting stuff. While thinking that he screwed up, he was hunting for this pile of crystals and got this shitty profession. That's what Jerry doesn't know, is that the crystals he put on the wheel were more than necessary. So there were some left over there. In that the pineapple says he found the backpack of whoever was here before. And when the dude takes a look, there is the body strengthening potion. Jerry celebrates, saying that this strengthening potion seemed good. While the pineapple wants to know how. He already knows what this business is. That's when Jerry realizes that only he was able to see those descriptions. Probably because of the alchemist profession. He can now see the functions of each item. At the same time, he takes another look and sees that the potion also warns that some people can die if they can't handle the strengthening. Already opening it, he says it's risky to lose. But there's no reason to delay, and he takes a big gulp. Suddenly the dude starts having a fit there. Purple Eye releasing smoke. The pineapple says he's going to run now and get help for him. But when he goes to open the door, there's a giant hand hitting the wall. Man. He takes a look to the side. It was a pumped-up mutant. But when the monster is going to punch the princess, the charming prince appears to protect, saying that he is feeling stronger than ever. And the monster arrived at the perfect time for him to test all his strength. That's what we see the little guy doing. Guy going back to the house from the beginning. Just because I spoke. He said that is their temporary base, and tells them to stay there. That he will find Mochim Fei. He's excited, because they got quite a lot of resources. And he's going up the stairs saying, I'm back, Mochim Fei. Where are you, woman? But suddenly someone calls for him, and tells him to take a look at this. The kitchen floor was all destroyed, and in front of the fridge, he sees a piece of paper there with a bloody hand. It was written that there was a new wheel at the supermarket. He wonders if it was Muchin Fake who left that there. What happened in this house? Meanwhile, DJ just finished the monster. The princess is saying he's amazing, and he's going crazy, all excited about his own power. The pineapple celebrates, saying they don't have to be afraid anymore. And he agrees, saying not anymore. And from now on the zombies were their prey. But when Didi and his friend are arriving at the base, saying that now they just have to solve it with their friends, suddenly they find everyone imprisoned. Oh no, the guy is alive. Zombie, why didn't you give a bullet in anyone's head? Oh well, he was surrounded by women. I'd go crazy if he started handing out headshots. But even so, wow, everyone lives. It sucks, and at the time Didi sees that our Prota took all his resources. Now obviously right. Swear he's going to kill him personally. Back home, our boy is having a fit there. The girls ask if he's okay, and he says he has a strange feeling. Oh crazy. But the boy's life isn't bad, is it? It's the auntie coming to give him a massage on the side. The teacher in front. Monya on the side, they're bringing a toast. What's that, huh boy? The Prota is saying that they have to rescue Ugly Mochim, because she must be in danger. But she ended up running away, right? And leaving information. June asks if that one is his girlfriend. And he said no. She's just a good partner. And now he's all excited, right? Saying that if that's the case, she will help find the Prota. But he says that it is good for her not to interfere with the operations. All allies have to have some use. Chuin was the type of loyal and easy-to-nurture person. To die? To the other side was strong. But he clearly didn't trust him very much. And there's also the teacher, Pukse Oing, that he still doesn't know right. How is he going to use it? And she's asking if she can go with him. She is a teacher who had to go for training, right? Of first aid. The Prota says it's okay. It was good if she just didn't get in the way. Because it costs extra energy. For him to keep defending everyone. He wants to know if the woman is going to. And she says of course yes comrade. Damn the backpack is full, let's go son. The protagonist knows that it's not just them who needs to find the backpack in Faye, as well as the new wheel. Since they are under pressure for new resources. But in that the woman tells him to wait. And says she knows where there is a vehicle. With that they find a whore truck there in front of the military base. And she says that the boss spent a fortune to bring this. He just wasn't armored against missiles. But ammunition, for example. He could resist. And it still reached 87 kilometers per hour. The Pertinho thanks. Saying that he really was incredible. Meanwhile, the Did is walking there with Pineapple in the middle of the city. Crazy to find that kid's base and kill him. In addition to that, he never imagined that that junk from Don's would betray him like that. Obviously the blonde told everything. Right boy? He wasn't going to die for the pumped freak. And now the director swears that he is the only one predator that can hunt zombies. I'm going to hunt there, man. No one is stopping you. Hunt that will, my friend. Meanwhile, the Pertinho is speeding the truck in the city, passing through all the zombie. The woman said that with this they will arrive at the destination. It will be easy. The teacher is praising, saying that it's always good to have a person competent like her, while the Tayurinya is getting jealous. Because that girl there now is getting all the credit. Ida Rapaz. Women. In this work here it's really difficult. And the Pertinho says that unfortunately, Shinfei didn't say what the exact market is. So unfortunately, they will have to look at several. The problem is that there were more and more abyss. At that time, the Tio Indio says that there is something strange approaching. While in the background there is a giant bug jumping. Looked like a mutant monkey with a red crystal on its forehead. What is that? And the monster is catching the zombies and eating them. Boy oh boy you run away Pertinya. The zombie. At the time I recognize it as a fierce white monkey and knows that we are the most cruel creatures of the apocalypse. The level of a star in his moment. There is no chance to win against this bug. At least he has fought against this type of race in the past life. So he knows the weak point. However, in that he tells her to hold on. Start giving matcha rye. But goes backwards into a pole. Is a fool indeed. At the same time the monkey jumps. Falls on top. Raising the whole truck. Already gives him a look at our dish. Through the broken glass that turns the steering wheel. Trying to get the bug off. Since the bastard doesn't let go. He tells the woman to take the wheel. Already gets out on the door side. Boy and gives him a kick in the face. The kid is really used to it. The problem is that even though he pushed the monkey away, the same used his big tail and wrapped it around his foot to pull both down. Wow, and that the little dude went to the ground and got sunk. Man, will the women betray? Will everyone abandon him? Damn son. The monster approaches little by little and keeps looking at him with a little smile. Suddenly the crazy guy lets out a roar upwards. It's going to give him a final crush, but is shot by some bullets looking to the side. You can see that the girl, and she tries to distribute him another sequence of bullets, but the animal manages to pass dodging. Approaches the door, gives her a paw, but she manages to go backwards. The girl is Matrix, huh? While inside the useless ones then oh my god, everyone is going to die. Have you ever thought about doing something? The woman continues there distributing bullets in the chest, even though it's not serving absolutely any purpose. The monkey comes to give a crush. She manages to throw herself on the ground and goes out from under the truck. The animal, however, does not stop, grabs the sides and starts trying to turn everything, the girls. Inside, everything is falling to one side to the other, while the animal is stepping there. I don't even know what he's doing right. And the teacher left the truck. And at the time, he went to give her a smack. But she also managed to duck. But wow, she took him in order. Stepped on the back, paraplegic, it's over for the girl. Hey dude, come tell this animal to stop this. When suddenly someone whistles. The silver one stood up. Girl, now he's with the pill that's already going in his direction. The monster comes to give a paw. But the captain took it and jumped on his arm. He's climbing and going to bite his shoulder. The bug is all twisted, trying to catch the dog that's spinning from side to side in the body, while the man tells the woman to hand over the gun. She sends him to get it. He picks it up right away and activates the craftsman's technique, increasing perforation by 20% and 20% stability. The monkey keeps screaming, while the pill goes to the side and goes to bite his little hand, but ends up taking a paw, being thrown away. The bug approaches in the middle, second, and comes to give him that hammer blow with both hands. But in that, the protector is next to him giving that fried look. Says he knows the weak point and hits it there. A bullet right in the middle of the rib that is exposed on the back. Strangely, it really seems to be the weak point. And the bug falls immobilized on the ground. And the duck relaxes, saying that it's a good thing he got lucky. This monster literally has its vertebrae exposed. And just break the first one there, and he falls hard to the ground. He was lucky to have this strengthening technique, together with a pistol that he managed to give a spin. Really, that artisan technique was better than he was imagining. A short time later, they are taking care of the teacher's injury. Aunt Rinha warns that it was very deep, and maybe they would have to disinfect with alcohol. Theon, at that time, opens the door there and asks if anyone is screaming. What happened? Oh, my daughter, are you shy now? Oh boy, you have half of your back torn and you're going to blush. But it's okay, right? The Pertinho respects her priorities there and just closes the door. Oh, I died there. I asked what it was. He said it was just the teacher, and there was a little medicine in a small wound. Nothing that threatens her life, okay? He's walking, thinking that after so much he has already seen, this is nothing too much. Besides that, thanks the yellow turkey for everything he did. Damn, the poor guy is affected. Anyway, all worn out. Now he needs to find recovery items to help the poor dog. A short time later, right? Chuim said. Obvious then, Zoming. The teacher's injury is very deep, and the bleeding doesn't stop. Who would say, right? The woman says that this type of injury, they will need stitches, anesthetic, other medications. The protector remembers that in the past life, he's been stitched up a few times, without anesthesia. It's just that the teacher won't be able to take this torture. With that, he's already leaving, saying he's going to take advantage, that they are in new territory, to hunt for such a wheel, maybe other resources, and see what you can find around there. Chuim asks about his friend, right? The one from Shin Fei. Says she was a smart woman, and there's no reason to worry. They'll find her soon. Boy oh boy, that's her form as a level 9 veteran. Damn, it really grew. Is the wheel of the apocalypse. The woman, however, tells him to stay still, and says they can split up. She's going to hunt the supermarkets to search for this woman. While he searches for medicine, he says it's not worth it. It's too risky. There are zombies on the streets. But here she comes wanting to complicate his life, saying he can trust her, that she's a cop, man. One protector. Look at that stare. While she keeps telling him not to worry, that he relaxes and says it's okay. But she better be careful. The wheels attracted zombies. O pertinha fica pensando que vida passada. Elefoi trado pelos aliados. Ele só espera que isso não aconteça de novo nessa. Enquanto isso, na cidade. O abacaxi tá pedalando fio. O dili tá com a mão na cabeça dele. Falando pra ele continuar pedalando rápido. Que ele gosta do ventinho bater no corpo. E por isso que ele fez alguns cálculos AI. E tem ideia de que o zooming Ta procurando por alguma coisa. Ida rapaz. Ao Sherlock Holmes. So pode. A calma ao abacaxi manda ele explicar. Ele fala que esses cars rubrum os recursos dele. So que neo era muita coisa. O useia. Els tambum neo tem tanto. E logo els veo ter que ir nos mercados. Procurar o que tem. O abacaxi. Ela achu falando que o hermoso. Realmente é intelligent. E els veo ir pro mar supermercado de regio. Supermercado de u. A coitada de mulherna. Certeza que vai acabar encontrando esses caras. Os dois estão entrando ali. O abacaxi tá com medo de zumbi. Porém, o Jerry fala para ficar tranquilo. No que neo tem nada que ele tema. O problema é que assim que eles entram. Percebem que o lugar inteiro tava vazio. Ele joga saco ali de farinha no chão. Falando que essa desgraça neo tem nada. Quando de repente zumbi cima de uma das gondola. Tá gritando ali filho. The beast goes down to them. And strangely Dilly is afraid. Son, have you forgotten that you are strong, boy? But strangely too. The monster turns around and leaves. They are confused without understanding why. And oh boy, there is only one thing that zombies follow more than humans. All of them stretching on top of a roulette wheel. The pineapple asks what they are going to do. It's very scary. They should run. But of course Dee Dee says they won't run. No way. They were lucky. Around there I imagine. Mo is walking. She knows the city very well. Even for being a police officer there. She decides to take a look at the small store. Enter there. Is taking a look at the gondolas. When the zombie is sideways. And she goes to the other market too. And another emptiness. Unfortunately, she is not finding either the wheel or resources. The only thing that was left is the biggest market in the area. Or W. And R. OA. She just hopes her friends are okay. Pertinho is there speeding up the truck. While Tyoan says that unfortunately, the teacher is only getting worse. He says they are already arriving. And in that he parks in front of the city hospital. He already runs to get the medicine. While the teacher says it was hurting. Boy oh boy. The wound on his back was bathed in blood. Takinho knew that if Zooming didn't come back quickly, she was going to die, screwed. So because there is a boy who takes a long time to come back, it's this one. He's there advancing through the corridors, saying he needs urgent medicine, when suddenly a green tail hits him. Oh my god. Another monster with a red crystal on its forehead. Oops, not red. Because in the next scene, the artist changed his mind and put yellow. And it seems that this one is an alligator turtle, and he is much worse than the white monkey. Only after 10 years of apocalypse that they started learning how to kill this bug. These monsters of this type are known as creatures. Guardian. That's because, usually, they are protecting some kind of rare thing. The protagonist has already hidden, and knows that with the skill he has no way to win. On the other hand, he has certain skills. Already outside, Uncle Rim asks if he got the medicine, but he just ignores her and goes after the truck. Takes a bow and arrow and says he'll be right back. But strangely, he goes to a gold store there. Uncle Rim is all confused, wanting to understand what he's doing right. The woman is dying here, and you're doing Minecraft. Brat. He may not know how to kill this creature, but he knows how to make her very slow. Now with these items together with the artisan technique, he believes that it is possible. Produce what he was needing. Oh crazy son. Strengthens with a gold there. Makes a cool arc. Have swag boy. This was a technique known as the mosaic technique that he saw people use in past life. And normally you do. To be able to strengthen an item using the other. And now with all the preparations made, he could move forward. In that he already leaves from behind the wall. Pulling 3 arrows and sending them towards the turtle. But one falls in front. One on the side of the paw and another ends up getting caught in the tail. At that moment the Zoom runs by, saying that was all he needed to delay. This dam goes to the medicine area, opens the door, and at least there was a lot of stuff. Since almost no one managed to get in there, right? Because of that bug. The problem is that the monster already is managing to release the tail. But he had also thrown a net on his head. But the animal also tears this and starts turning in his direction. Meanwhile, they're at the supermarket and the haha Diary just beat up a bunch of zombies and celebrates, saying that finally he is going to get the little wheel. And boy, the pineapple is there scared, wanting to know what happened. When the guy pulls the cloth, you can see that it's a wheel full of items. And at the moment, he kicks the blonde fool, telling him to start collecting the crystals. And I'm saying that the pineapple is getting more and more angry. And Dilly is there, thinking that this wheel is very different from the one before. There was even a strange necklace and a card. The problem is that it seems that these cost 10 crystals to make it work. Wow, dude. The pineapple says that another zombie will appear soon, since that was clearly attracting them. But the kid distributes a punch in his face, completely free. Meanwhile, at the entrance, Moya is arriving. The place was too quiet, and that was only possible if all the zombies had already been killed. At the same time, in the hospital, the big guy is getting on top of both paws, roaring. While outside, Uncle Risco is everything and is scared. The zombie was in danger. But the problem is that the doctor was also finished. Unfortunately, she wasn't going to be able to stay there, since she can't do anything. So open the door and run out to see if the zombie needs help. Inside, to come face to face with the lizard. Alligator scratching the wall. Asks what monster is this inside, girl. The door is starting to collapse. Our boy put a chair in front, as if he were going to do much. The pot knows that until this bug calms down, he's going to be stuck there. At the same time, the little China girl, from afar, is sure that the pot must be stuck there and won't be able to get out with this monster around there. She starts looking around, and in that she notices some eggs in the direction. The bug keeps giving some tail strikes, trying to break the wall, and Zone realizes that the craftsman items, level 1 of his didn't do much, is when suddenly, the bug starts to leave. He gets kind of confused. From the side, he sees Tyahin there and wonders what this idiot came here to cause trouble. Actually the bug came back and gave it another tail strike. And boy, I wanted to know what the strength ranking of the crystals is, right? That I imagine that golden one must be worth a lot. Tyahin keeps hiding behind the wall, wondering how she can help Zhongming. She had to be good for something. So of this time, she runs towards the eggs on the side of the business. She shouts, telling the monster, take a look at her. At the same time, the bug obeys and sees itself turn and go in the direction. The man, that no matter how much he thought she was an idiot, looking for death, had to take advantage of this chance. Right now, leave the room, telling Chuim to get out of there. Otherwise you'll die. The monster is coming, while she is face to face with the eggs. But she pushes the 3 that kind of split. Strangely, the seems much more concerned about his offspring, right? He goes to collect to get them all. Almost hits the wall. Yu's wing realizes that the animal was valuing the eggs much more. So she got lucky. But the idiot ends up tripping. Lucky he grabs her by the hand. Still scolds her, saying that she really is a sucker, but pulls, telling them to get out of there soon. Outside she relaxes, saying it was close. While he wants to know why she did something so dangerous. Oh, she's all in love, man. She saved you. Didn't you want someone useful? There. She says she was in a panic. Scared. Wanted to save him. So didn't think straight. He stares and says she has to stop acting like that there's no reason.